Good afternoon, Party Club members. We are back with another recording. We are going to interview Mr. Huffman, another high school Party Club member, part of the admin team, another volunteer. So Mr. White is going to kick things off. Let's see how high he can kick the ball.
Hello, Cardy members. Glad to see you all back again. And today we are here with Mr. Huffman, and Mr. Huffman is one of our high school advisors here with the Cardy Club. And I would just like to find out a little bit about Mr. Huffman and why he decided to come to OHVA. So, so Mr. Huffman, could you share with us when did you decide to come to OHVA, and why did you decide to do that?
So I came to OHVA in 2019. I was in a brick and mortar school, and I had some challenges at that school, uh, particularly with um, my religious views. Um, I had some trouble with some teachers and some other students. Um, and they did not like me sharing my point of view. Um, and so I came to OHVA um, after graduating from that school. Um, and I have loved the change. I would not take anything back from making the change to a brick and mortar school to an online school.
Well, great. That is great to hear, and glad that you were happy with your change and your decisions. Um, in the high school, things work a little bit different than they do in the elementary school. Could you kind of explain what kind of classes you take, and maybe a couple of the classes that you chose to be able to take? That we have things called electives, and so maybe share a little bit about a couple of those kind of classes that you might be taking.
Definitely. In the high school, we take 6 classes per semester. So for the total semester, you are taking 12 classes. And for some of you, that may seem like a lot, and that is a lot of classes. Um, and as Mr. White was talking about, we in the high school, we have some things called electives. Um, So electives are 2 out of your 6 classes. You have your 4 main criteria classes. You have science, English, which is like reading, which is like your reading class, history, and we have math. Those are the 4 that we like to call criteria classes or base classes. And then we take 2 other classes, which are our personal choices. Um, as we just wrapped up, or I think this may be something we may be talking about in the future, would be career fields, like what are careers you may like to do, or you may be pursuing. Um, a piece of advice for you guys would be to think about what you may want to do when you grow up, when you uh, become uh, Mr. White's age or our age or after high school. Sorry, Mr. White, but uh, but just think about what you want to pursue after high school, um, and then go according to that. And for me, I don't really know what I'm doing, what I want to do after high school or even after college. So my electives are kind of scrambled, meaning I'm taking a lot of different kinds of electives. Um, one of the careers that I might be pursuing would be going into the field of business. So I'm taking a lot of business courses. I've taken personal finances. Um, so how do you finance or how do you keep track of all the money that you get when it comes to that. Um, right now, I'm taking a technology course on how we can help our environment. And right now, I'm taking something called archaeology, um, which is looking at things like fossils. Um, for those who like dinosaurs, um, looking at dinosaur bones and how they and how we can use those bones to tell how old the dinosaur was when it died, how long it's been in the ground, and things of that sort.
You said dinosaurs. Those are the things that go around. They scare me. Ooh.
That's right, Cardy Jr. They go, "Arr!"
I don't think we need to necessarily be really worried about dinosaurs coming after us. I think that's only in the movies. I,
Right,
I, I,
right.
I
Those are just in the movies, guys. These are just bones.
yep. They're just bones and dust now. So
All
that's
right, so
really that.
I have a question for Mr. Huffman. Mr. Huffman, tell us a little bit about what it is to be a leader in training with the National Honor Society.
So I am um not a leader in training. I am a leader with the National Honor Society, which is fantastic. So when you get to the high school age, um, or get into high school, you will see some classes on there that will just be um, connections, if you will, or talk times. Um, and these are great because you only meet with students your age. Um, and they're fantastic. If you guys want to take it, I would highly suggest you guys take advantage of these. Um, we talk about things such as your mental health, um, your physical health with being an online school, and being on your computer for so many hours a day. Um, um, so yeah, I would highly take advantage of these. And if you want, you can become a leader in these. For those who like taking on leadership roles, you can take on the leadership role in these. Um, so yeah.
So a couple of quick questions, kind of off of that. What does it take to get into the National Honor Society?
So one of the things it takes to get on in the National Honor Society is that you have to keep your grades up throughout the year. Um, Meaning that you have, so your grades have to be, you have to be passing all of your classes um, in order to get in. And one of the things that you'll also have to do is whenever you apply for a job, you'll have to get references, which are people that say, yes, I think um, for me, Mr. Huffman would be a good um, person to fulfill this position. You will have to get those with teachers. Um, and you'll have to get those in with teachers. It could be um, any one of your teachers that you can do this with, which is great. So that way you don't just have to go out um, to someone you know and be like, hey, do you think I would be good for this? Um, you can ask your teachers. And that's what I did. I asked some of my teachers to um, say that I would be a good fit for this position.
Oh, great. And I can say that at one point I owned my own business, and when we get someone that applies that has a a teacher that recommended them. That is something that we think is really important as someone that's hiring people for a job, because those teachers have worked with that student quite a bit throughout the year, and things, and know that they have what we call a good work ethic, which means they get things done on time, and I'm not always chasing them around to get them to turn their work in and stuff. So that is a great thing.
And something else that I did not mention that's great about the National Honor Society is that if you need a break or you're not doing too well in some of your classes, within the National Honor Society, we have a lot of what we call student leaders, um, or mentors. And we have so many mentors right now. I think we have 16 mentors. Um, and Which is fantastic. So if you need to take a break, just let someone know that you'll be taking some time off. I just took some time off. I took a week off because I was going on vacation before spring break. Um, and that was great for me. I needed that break. Um, and we like to think of ourselves as a big family. Um, so if one needs a break, someone else can jump right in.
Family.
That's right, Cardy Jr. We are family.
Um, so one last real quick question, just off of something that you just mentioned there. What do the mentors do?
So the mentors are just like teachers. So in one of my in two of my classes, I am a teacher, but something that I have to keep in mind is reminding myself is that I'm also a student. So I'm not just doing this for a job. I'm not getting paid. This is a volunteer role. I'm volunteering to take time out of my day and teach people what I have learned and what they can learn from me.
And that is great. And that is just so students kind of understand also, one of the biggest jobs that Mr. White has here at OHVA, besides being in charge of the Cardy Club, is I am in charge of our high school mentoring program. And so what I work with is all of our students that are in our career tech pathways, that are taking those classes that prepare them for that job when they leave. We team them up with somebody that is already out there doing that job. So right now I have over 100 students that are teamed up with people that work out in the industry with adults. And these students once a month meet with their mentor and get to learn what kind of skills they need, and what like the daily work would be like when they actually get out of school and get that job. So this mentoring, I think, is a great thing that we do here at OHVA that is way different than any of the other schools that I've been involved with. So I think that's great that we have our students that help mentor other students. And then later on, we have adults that mentor students. So something I think is really cool.
And that's right, is that something that happened recently is that as students, we got to mentor a teacher. And a teacher needed some assistance, and she came to us and said, "Hey, would you guys be willing to teach me some things um, that I need to work on?" And she was very honest and upfront that she needed to work on some things, and that she went directly to us, which is fantastic.
That is very cool.
So the what my point is that I'm trying to say is that it's not only students that need mentoring or someone to come alongside them and help them. Teachers like Mr. White also need this as well.
I I ask for help all the time from students to help me with some of the technology stuff. I have not been I didn't grow up with computers, and so I have to learn it all when I'm old, and sometimes that's harder to do than when you're young. So I
Mhm.
appreciate the students that have mentored me greatly, and being able to
I,
ask for that help is important. So
I
I
would like,
believe that Cardy Jr. has a couple of questions now, so I'm going to hand it off to him. I don't know. We're gonna tag here. I don't know.
I
Go
would
ahead.
just like to say real quick, that is awesome, Mr. Huffman. You are terrific. I actually don't have any other further questions. We are actually going to listen to our Cardi Club theme song, and then we will call it a day. And I hope you all have enjoyed these videos. It really has been fun, and here we go.
Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof.
Oops, my bad. That was the wrong video. I'm sorry. That
That
was
was the
the
short
short
version.
one. Oopsies. Give me a second to fix this.
Mr. White, while Cardi Jr. is working on getting this video played, I have some questions for you about the CTE program. Is that okay
Okay.
if I? So, what does it take to become a CTE student?
So it is an application, and we share it out. Students, and some of this has changed since Mr. Huffman and Mr. Brown came through school because our CTE program is fairly new. We've only been around for 4 years here at OHVA. We now start all of our students take career exploration classes starting in 7th grade. And that is kind of a general, here's what all the different jobs that are available to you is that there is out there. That's what we do in 7th grade. And then in 8th and 9th grade, you can start to pick that I'm really interested in, like Mr. Huffman said, I'm really interested in business. And so I could take a business and marketing class. And then every year, it kind of narrows down and gets more advanced in the types of things that you're learning. So there's an online application that you can fill out to get into those CTE programs.
So, and are the CTE program classes in addition to my elective courses, or would this take the place of an elective course?
They would take the place of an elective course. And so they count for your graduation credits as a different elective course. They are generally a little bit harder than the elective course because it really is preparing you for the job or the career that you're going into, as opposed to maybe just finding out some stuff about it. I thought it was really nice that Mr. Huffman talked about that he's not sure what he wants to do. And so he's taking some different kinds of elective classes so that he can learn what he does like and what he doesn't like. So the CTE courses are, once you've decided that I want to go into, we've got healthcare classes, we've got business and marketing classes, we've got IT classes for those of you that want to go into either some sort of a networking, or if you want to go into like game design or something like that, we've got those classes that are available in our CTE pathways. And we're growing all the time. We just opened up this year an education pathway for students that might want to become teachers. There'll probably be a lot more by the time our Cardy Club students get there.
Yeah, and I just saw that that was a pop-up that us students who got is that is a new pathway that is opening. Um, Very excited to hear that, Mr. White. I'll definitely be considering this for this year. So thank you for uh, answering my questions. Cardi
Great.
Jr., sending it back to you.
Think we need to get that bird call out, Mr. Huffman. Get, I don't have my bird whistle handy.
Alrighty, Cardy Club members, I'm sorry. I had to take a little break. It's exhausting working with Mr. White. It's exhausting.
Uh-huh.
Alrighty, here we go. Here's the full thing.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. Your love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, bring me down, can't none bring me down. Your love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. Your love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
Alrighty, Cardy members, I hope that made you happy after listening to that. Well, I want to say thank you to Mr. White and Mr. Huffman for taking time out of their day to do this. I hope you guys are really enjoying these videos. We sure are having fun making them. And until next time, see you later.
Cardi.